gonna be me and you out there in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Slanging and banging. You and me all day, every day. What?
For sure.
Busting, bro. Man, what y'all got up in the fridge, dude? Oh, apple juice! You should get me on there, man, with a fit check. With the flat cap bill, rocking them Jordan 4s, right? With the Home Hero shirt. I've gone to shops where literally guys have pulled me aside and be like, man, I love all this stuff you're teaching, but if I do this, I'll be out till midnight. They're just going to give me more calls. And it's heartbreaking. It's like, man, what's the real goal here? Like, if I've got 12 tables in a restaurant and I can serve those 12 people and give them the best experience ever and I can be profitable, if I want to make more money, I'm going to add a 13th table. I'm not going to add a 13th customer. Meaning I'm going to increase my capacity. I'm not just going to shove more people into my capacity. If my room fits 56 people and I want to sell more tickets to my event, I either have to increase the capacity or hold separate events. I can't put 115 people into a room of 57 people.
Tankless and a softener installed. They don't have either, and they've already been approved for financing.
What's that got to do? So you want me to go out there and do that call?
Well, they also say they've been having trouble with their sewer line and been wanting to replace it for a while, but they can't find somebody who they like to do it, but they think they trust us.
I don't want to have to work super hard to get it though. You want me to repipe the house, put it in the tankless, softener. Did you say something about a sewer line?
That's what it looks like. I think we should go check it out, man.
No, bro, this is ridiculous. And is this commission?
Yeah, I already talked to the owner about it. He wants to actually double your commission on it because it's such a big job.
No. So you want me to go out there, you want me to run this call, it's a bunch of work and a bunch of money or whatever, but it's also a bunch of taxes, and you're gonna have people out there helping me, watch me, do what I do, and then you want me to get it done faster so I make even more money, and then I have to, take another call because now I'm done by Thursday or something?
What else are you gonna be doing instead here, Steve? This is the job, man.
You got any odor smells or anything like that on there? Like maybe like in a different, maybe just... Why does on-call suck? Well, look, here's the thing. Most companies that do on-call 24/7 after hours, they don't treat it the same way they do during normal hours. They have a full staff and they have a full support system if someone calls between 8 and 5. But then after hours, they don't have a CSR, they don't have a supply staff, they don't have a lot of other things, and they want to go out and charge the same rates to the customer, if not even more, because they're doing after hours work. If you want to charge more and do on-call, then provide more service after hours. If you can't provide at least the same service that you provide during the day after hours, then you shouldn't do it. Think of it like an emergency room. Not every doctor is open after hours, but emergency rooms have a full staff after hours. Be an emergency room or be a doctor. But you gotta pick one and make sure that whatever you pick, you can service to the full. When there's no plumbers to hire, there's still a lot of plumbers that don't work for you working in your city. You're just not known enough. And so everybody tries to be just known enough because you don't want to overspend your marketing. And he goes, well, what do you do with all the money you spend on leads that you can't get to? And I'm like, well, what do you do with all the money you don't make when you're slow? See how this goes both ways? So I would rather spend a couple extra thousand every month and waste it and be known and have leads and momentum and be moving forward and I can hire into than to have that day, just one day when I'm slow. It'll be a couple grand in revenue off of one truck that we don't get.
It's that time again!
You've now entered the No Sales Zone. No Sales Zone. With Chris Fresh,
the plumbing sales coach,
peels back the curtain of what sales really is. Buckle up, buckle up, and get ready to learn how to increase ticket average by providing better service. And now, your host,
ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
CF,
the plumbing sales coach.
What's up, are we live? I don't see anything. No camera feed, no nothing. What are we looking at? There we go. What? Don't do that. Hey, what's up? We're having some trouble with our technology tonight. We have a loose connection. I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me? Can you see me? We're live. My son was live. What's up? We saw you on the screen. I'm watching it play back right now. I see an up-close personal shot of my son, Tyler. What's up, Tyler? Welcome to the show. All right, Jacob. Hey, anybody can do this. What's up, Jacob? Bruce in the house. Good to see you. Shauna in the house. What's up? Zach Brown, my man. Dude, been a minute. Sean, what's up, my guy? I will try. We did not get to send out any alerts tonight. We did get the mini chat subscription fixed, but now we're in an approval process with Facebook. So those will be coming out soon. Please subscribe to the show. You need to type the word subscribe into the comments. Then Facebook's going to send you a message to say, get up or subscribe again. You click that, and then Facebook's going to send you another message and say, are you sure? And it's like a whole thing. But go ahead and fill out all the stuff, and I'll make it worth your while. What up, dog? Robert in the house. Blake Johnson says loud and clear. Good to see you, brother. Carissa in the house. Hey, we're talking about marketing tonight, how to make that phone ring. And honestly, for anyone that watches the show, it's always tied back into some sort of service, sales, business, marketing concepts, and we tie it all together. But marketing is really sales from a distance, meaning it's a lot of the same things, meaning you have to still build that relationship. You still have to be able to get your customers' questions answered. So we're going to talk about that tonight, exactly how to do it. I'm going to give you 3 major takeaways. I'm going to give you examples. I'm going to show you things. And at the end, I'm going to show you a video, a campaign video that you can do yourself that Home Heroes did here in Anderson, Indiana, and Fishers and in the Hamilton County regions of Indiana. I'm going to be showing you some before and after photos of their brand, Cornwell's brand, Zach Brown, Andrew Cornwell, Austin Cornwell, and the Cornwell team. I'd be remiss without mentioning Wendy. Wendy's the real reason why that business runs. Miss the whole fresh team. We miss you too, Zach. Ooh. Is that how it goes? All right. Rescue One here. What's up, Tom? Good to see you. Welcome. Tonight we're going to be talking about how to make that phone ring. And I think a lot of people think making the phone ring sometimes is buying Angie's Leads, Home Advisor Leads, or using Google or even GLSA. But I'm telling you guys right now, if you don't learn anything else tonight, Google is your competitor. Angie's List is your competitor. Home Advisor is your competitor. What they're doing is they're getting your customer to go to them for your solution. Google don't plumb. Home Advisor don't plumb. Taking that college course now for marketing. I'm going to try. Can I get a job at Peach Plumbing? What's up? Apply. Hit me up. In the ATL. Hey, look, we are really, really focused on marketing tonight. Now, I want to just recap something we did in the past. We did a personality profile assessment with you guys a couple nights ago. That was a huge hit. We've been using that. I've been getting a lot of feedback on that one. And then we did a 6-part series on sales. So if you're just new to the show, man, you need to go back and watch that. And we have a program for owners. The owners in the service plumbing space, reach out. We can help your team get better. CSRs, techs, all the way across the board. Marketing, strategies, everything you need to know about your business. And we can help you guys get some huge results. We got a event coming up in March. We got a guy, Lucas Cena, that's going to be there from Advanced Plumbing Systems out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. And it's a small town, smaller company, and he did $1.2 million in revenue out of his truck. This isn't a guy who sold 1.2 or plumbed 1.2. He did both. He ran his own calls, sold his work, and did it. 1.2 million using the processes we teach. We're going to be teaching those processes at this event, and he's going to be there to also, you can meet him and ask him and poke him, see if it's real. Tell him I said that. Just start poking him and be like, they said to see if you're real. Don't do that to me, though. Don't do that to me. All right, if you're over on YouTube, what's up? Chat away. Let's see what you got. Talk to us. Where you from? Where you plumb? Look, where's your company at? If you work for a company, what city are you in? What's the name of the company? If you own a company, what city are you in? What's the name of the company? And how long have you been plumbing? How long have you been in the industry? Maybe you don't plumb. You've just been in the industry. You're CSR, some sort of manager. You're somebody in marketing. How long? How long? Who else we got on here? Shauna says event. Yeah, if you want that event, let us know. We'll get you set up. Okay, tonight we're going to be talking about this idea of marketing. I think we titled it How to Get Leads. The description said Marketing is sales from a distance. But the main takeaway that we're working on tonight, the main one is going to be this. Simple. Be known, be trusted. Be known, be trusted. I think a lot of people say be known, be liked, but I say be known, be trusted. Be known, be trusted. I don't need to know the owner of the car manufacturer car I drive. I just need to trust that product. See, I always say office manager for almost 7 years. Wendy, you heard me mention your name. If you go back just a couple minutes ago, did you hear what I said about you? I hope you heard what I said about you. Roto-Rooter, Fayetteville. Now, Wendy's office manager for 7 years for Cornwall Plumbing, which we're going to show you guys tonight. It's one of our main takeaways tonight. But you got to be known. And in sales, they say, know, like, and trust. People buy stuff from know, like, and trust. Bullcrap. Bullcrap. It's not true. I can prove it. How many of you buy gasoline? You're telling me you know, like, and trust the gas station attendant? No, you know, like, and trust the gasoline. That's why some people will let you fix their toilet but not replace their toilet. Some people will let you fix their water heater, replace their water heater, but not put in a tankless. Because they're having a disconnect. They see you at a certain level or a certain value. And it's, that's unfair, but we got to know that. We got to step out of that. She said I did not. Well, what I said Zach Brown was on here. Then I mentioned Andrew Cornwell. And then just a few minutes later, I was like, well, I'd be remiss without mentioning Wendy because we all know she runs that place. 20 years in the trade, service manager for 3. Robert says, PSC, best company family to be a part of. Thanks, brother. Love you. David Wayne Simmons, what's up? Katie texts. So, Shauna, you don't capitalize everything else, but when you talk about Texas, it's all caps. What is it with Texas people? Like everything. Look at us. Anyone been to Texas? I think it's like a law there that you have to, something on your property has to be the flag, like your house. Like they'll paint the whole roof. They'll paint the whole barn, the flag of Texas. He said, word of mouth is dead for me is what I need. All right, let's get into it. Let's not even, and I got some like cute little talking points, but we're going to dive into it, I promise. I don't do, here's what we pride ourselves in at the Plumbing Sales Coach. We give you for free what the others pay to teach. Meaning if there's another program out there and you're paying for their information, we probably give it away for free. We just want to make big impact. And I don't like all these little games. Like I'm going to tell you what and I'm going to tell you why and what, but I'm going to make you pay for the how. Now we're going to give it to you. We're going to give it to you. Broward County. In Sebastian, South Florida, 2-year service moving from corporate to a family-driven. I'm not going to lie. All I see right now in Broward County is that sheriff on the internet. Isn't that the dude from Broward County, the sheriff that's like the Florida? If we see you, we'll shoot you. Isn't that dude? I swear I see him. All right, what's main takeaway number 1? We're up to 62 viewers. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody just joined the show. Tonight is how to make that phone ring, how to get leads. Takeaway number 1. Who are you and what do you do? If I was just starting a plumbing company or I was in business for 20 years, now I currently own a plumbing company down in Atlanta, so obviously we are marketing, we're doing our thing, and we're going to show you our brand here in a few minutes. But I want you guys to understand something with marketing. You have to be known. They have to know what you do. And this is a big deal. You're a plumbing service owner. You're a plumbing service business. You need to make sure people know who you are and what you do. And you need to make sure everybody knows. So if you're brand new, just starting out, you need to tell the world, Facebook, Nextdoor, all the little places that you can go for free and tell the world. As you elevate, you have to start actually creating campaigns and branding. And we're going to break that down. We're up to 200 viewers. I think the internet's broke. I don't know what's going on. We're up to 100, 215. It's just climbing. What's up? Welcome to the show. Type subscribe if you're new to the show. Tonight we're talking about marketing. We're talking about being known and being trusted. And we have to be known and they have to know what we do. That's takeaway number 1. And I would do that with yard signs. I would be doing that with door hangers. I would be doing all kinds of things. In fact, our recipe for success for every plumbing company that comes into our program is let's fix your Google My Business profile. Let's get that fixed first. Let's use GLSA as our pay-to-play lead aggregator leads. I'm not a big fan of Google pay-per-click. I'm not a big fan of Angie's List. I'm not a big fan of Home Advisor. I'm not a big fan of Thumbtack. I'm not a big fan of these people who have gotten into our way and gotten our customers to communicate with them. So what I want to do is I want to hold on to those customers. I want to hold on to those customers. And the thing that really matters most is that when I get that customer, I have to get them before they go to Google, and they typically go to Google and all these other places once they have the problem. So here's the deal. We have to be known, and they have to know what we do before they even need us. And that's the tricky part. That's the difficult part. Can I get an amen on that? Can I get an amen on that? It's really difficult. Colby says subscribe. What's up, my boy? Colby, Advantage Plumbing out of Dayton. Dayton. Looks like the new Marvel heroes. We should have used his brand tonight and showcased that one. That's all right. We'll have more times. We'll showcase all these brands. We've made a lot of brands for a lot of people, which is really the second point I want to make. So be known. They got to know who you are. They got to know what you do. And you got to get that out there as much as possible. We do Google. We get your profile locked in. We don't do it for you. We tell you to do it. We teach you how to do it. We show you how to do it. But you get it all locked in. And then the next thing we want to focus on is van wraps, getting our brand out there. That's the number one return on investment. And then we want to move to yard signs. We have huge success for yard signs. One of the biggest bangs for your buck. And then the next thing we do is door hangers on the 5 homes around us. What's up, Joey? Says Guerrilla Marketing. David, Guerrilla Marketing is how you get started. Andrew Cornwell. Oh, man. Okay, let's move into takeaway number 2. We're going to rock right into this thing because I really need you guys to grasp this. Number 1, you got to be known. You got to be liked. But here's the thing. You got to be memorable. You got to be sticky. Like, they see you, but they forget you. And a lot of you are driving around with white vans, and it says everything you do. Could you imagine, like, walking around town, it's like, hey, my name's Chris Fresh. I'm 5'6". I like long walks on the beach. I've got 8 kids. Like, it's like some point, it's like, I don't need to know all that. I don't even know if I like you. They got 3 seconds, Dan Antonelli. Dan Antonelli, Kick Charge Creative, the leader in the industry with branding. I think you all know who he is. He's a killer. I met him with Joey one time out in Vegas. I think he was at an event speaking. I was just meeting up with Joey and trying to sneak off to another spot in Vegas. And met Dan for a minute. And he's really smart on this stuff. He wrote a book. You should Branded Not Blanded. You need to check him out, read him. The guy's a genius. I know we're competitors in the branding space, but I respect it. I respect it. Zach, bro, I don't want to fight tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not looking. Oh, you're 5'4"? Zach's like 6'2" or something, or more than 5'6". He's more than 5'6". I know that. Yeah, so, you get this idea of being memorable, being sick. They got 3 seconds. They're going to drive down the freeway and just see your van, and most of your stuff that they're seeing is hidden behind the car next to you. So that means they're only going to see up high. And if they're behind your van, they're parked in traffic, they'll be able to see the back. But so many people want to slap that phone number on the side of the van. It's like, you really think someone's getting that? Let me show you some before and afters of what we've done. The first one I want to show you, hold up. The first one I want to show you is I want to show you guys, I forgot what we're doing. Help me. Let's do the other one, the fourth one you didn't mention. Formula Plumbing out of Odessa, Texas. This was Formula Plumbing. You can see where they were going with this. They had the word Formula Plumbing Services for all your plumbing needs with the... No, I actually don't see where they were going with this. But it's clean. I'll give them that. But it's not what we're trying to do. So I had a meeting with them. Say, hey, they're in our program. They're killing it right now. About a year ago, they said, we want to rebrand. Thought about changing their name. We thought of a million things. And then we came up with this idea of Formula Plumbing. They wanted something Nickelodeon because they understand their avatar is mothers for the most part. And they have kids, and they have husbands, and they have families and dogs and animals. And so we want to relate to that stuff. And we want to be sticky. And we want the kids to remember us because the kids are going to speak the loudest. Preston, what's up? And this is what we came up with. Allie the Gator. They're in Florida, Formula Plumbing. When your plumbing's being a hater, call Allie the Gator. I love it. It's cute. It's adorable. Kids love it. Families love it. You want that in your home. And they put a campaign behind this that I can't tell you because it's kind of top secret, but they're crushing. They're crushing it. We got any other photos of them? Okay, let's show another one. Second, not the Homeos or the other Peach. This is the company I own. Now, originally, this was the brand before I ever got involved. What happened was this company merged with another company, and then they brought me in as an owner, and we rebranded. This is a little too much. Now, it's clean, simple, whatever, but it's just a little too much. And so we went with this route. There we go. Peach. A little bit more cleaner, a little bit more sleek. We got the skyline in there with the Ferris wheel for the city, the old Georgia Dome. Mr. Peach. Service so sweet, service every time. Chris Martin says, yo, happy to be back on live. Got a 6K DWV repipe tomorrow and an 8K sewer line. Love the videos and all the knowledge I get from you. Need to get some merch soon. Appreciate you watching the show, brother. Let's get him a hat. Flat bill or trucker cap. Put it in the comments and then message us with your address, whether or not you want. You don't need to put the flat bill in the comments, but message us and send us what flat bill, trucker cap. Okay, now I want to show you two of my favorites. I'm going to show you this one. Now, before we show it, I'm going to show you this one. I had to fight them on this one. We got into an argument. They wanted to go a different route, and I was just thinking about the name, and I'm like, there's no way I'm letting you not at least see this. So when we did this, they actually went a whole different route. We created them a whole different brand. But I had my designer go, hey, I was like, just sketch it. Just sketch it for me. We'll show it to them. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But the name, don't show it yet, but the name of the company was Cornwell. Show the old brand. We'll show the old brand real quick. Now, everybody's seen this brand before. Everyone uses this brand across the country. It's kind of a generic brand. And they did it. I thought they did a good job with it. Again, another well executed with the least kind of situation. They did the most that they could with what they had. And I was talking to the Cornwell brothers. So that's Andrew on the screen right there. And then Austin is the brother. Andrew and Austin actually worked for Chris. Chris was the dad. Well, he still is the dad. But he is the dad, but he's now retired. No one sees him. He just hunts. And him and his wife, Barbara, they owned it, started it, and then brought Austin and Andrew into it. And then they eventually took over. Well, this is before they took over, and they got this brand. So when they hired me, it was meant to be transitioning Dad out of the business, giving them kind of like an actual business with processes. These guys were collecting payments a month later from memory. It was wild. I don't know how they run the business. $1 million company with no tracking. It was wild. And I was talking to him, and I said, dude, Cornwell. We need a humanized piece of corn running around with a well. And they were like, no, we'll never do that. Actually, I think Andrew was okay with it, but Austin was like, we'll never do that. I'll never do that. They had like 4 or 5 trucks. No, they didn't even have that. I think they were running like 3 trucks, maybe 5 guys total. Something like that. All right, show them what we did. Boom. Mr. Butters. I didn't name it Mr. Butters, though. They're, I don't know, someone in their, maybe a niece? Mr. Butters is the best name for that. Then they went and sponsored a baseball field later on, like a little league thing. They called it Cornwell Fields. I don't know if they ever did this, but they were talking about putting the popcorn in the concession stand, calling it Mr. Butters popcorn. Like, forget about the plumbing thing. Mr. Butters popcorn, I'd buy that. Yeah, it's fire. It's gangster. The team loves it. We got a team photo. And then they grew. And they're still growing. And they crush. They crush it. That guy, back right, is Zach Brown. The guy at the, if you're looking at that wedge, he's on the right. He's on the right-hand side of the main front guy there in the very, very back. Wow, what a team! All right, let's show them the next one now. Plumbing doctors, call the best, flush the rest. I'm sure that all links up there with the stethoscope. Got a lot going on right there. Show them the van. Don't even want to see it. I think the peeling paint actually helped a little bit on the front there. Vince, are you on here? I can't escape this one for you. You did this. You did this to yourself, sir. Now show. Let's get that off there. Let's show them what we did. They changed their name. They wanted to be Home Heroes. We lowercase the H. We lowercase the H's. We turned the owner, Ashley, in the center there. Ashley and Vince own it, but Ashley's kind of the face. Vince is the engine, making everything happen. Ashley's the face. We made the Home Hero just like her. She always colors her hair different stuff. Show them another image. These guys went from $900,000 a year, 9 years in business with the old brand. They rebranded. They learned our processes. $5 million 2 years later. Killer. Look at this. That's who they are. The kids are all wearing a cape. That little girl I think is wearing her cape, the Home Heroes cape. They make capes and give it out to kids. Look at the yard sign, true to fashion with the little stamp on the thing. Look at that branding. Just branded. Just owning that little section of the neighborhood. Now watch this. They took it a step further. I'm going to show you a quick little video, and I got another video for you here in a minute that you're going to love. Actually, before the video, show them the truck. Show them the truck. When you start to brand, I'm going to need you to hand that to me real quick. When you start to, now leave the photo up. When you start to brand, no, this isn't the team photo. Oh, we already saw the team photo. The truck. No, the truck. The Christmas truck. The truck. Bam, look at this thing, dude. Look at this thing. What? Who likes, tell me if you like that. No, just give me the old. Tell me if you like that. All right. All right, now Cornwall. I'm gonna show you guys a video in a second. Dude, I'm gonna tie all this together tonight for you. I promise. You stay on the show with me and hang out. We're gonna get you leads. Like it's gonna be a game changer. Okay, it's almost be like you're in my program on some level. Because every other week we meet and we do stuff like this. We talk about, but we go in depth. I was just showing. We were breaking down ChatGPT. But I got this gift from Andrew and Austin. And Andrew went and got a Tesla and had it wrapped in the Cornwall brand. And look at this. Look at this. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she lovely? Isn't she beautiful? Everybody loves the car. They hate the singing. So take your wins with your losses. I do appreciate that, Andrew. That's dope. I mean, it's just dope. So the numbers on the side of the work. So no numbers on the. Yeah, no numbers. Can you throw up like a collage of those just real quick, all 4 of those, and just see? Because here's the deal: when you're driving down the road, you're just staring. No. Yeah, that. And then throw me. I don't care if you hide me for a second. I don't care. Move that over. Yeah, and then bring up another one. Go ahead. Just keep popping them up there. Peach. Yeah, boom. Clean. I know exactly. Here's how this works, guys. You have a brand, and then that brand is what you put on everything. You color a brand is, by the way, a brand is font, color, and that logo, that image, that mascot. So you got the unique fonts on all those, you got the unique images on all those, and then you got the unique colors on all those. And then what you do is you create a canvas for your brand. So that's the background, that's the van wrap, that's the splash on the formula, that's the cityscape on the Home Heroes, that's the cornfields on the Cornwall, and that's the city skyline in Peach. All done with precision and intentionality. And if you look at the back of some of these vans, you'll notice they got a phone number, and we have other images that I don't think we got them right now, but you can see the phone number, website. I always turn the website into a call to action. So if your website's homeheroes.com, change it to callhomeheroes.com. If you already have your domain set up somewhere and you have all of your stuff set up to that domain, like you can go buy callhomeheroes.com and forward it to homeheroes.com, and then you can just put that on your vans. On the back, web address. I'm okay if you put the web address on the side if it says like Call Formula Plumbing, because you're at least saying the name again, but it's not necessary. Look, nowadays, Vince calls me one day and he's like, yeah, man, you were wrong. He's like, I put my yard sign. You see his yard sign doesn't have a phone number, no contact information on it. But he said, I put it out there and I got a call. Someone complained. And I said, oh, yeah, what happened? She said, well, an older lady called me and said, hey, your yard sign doesn't have his phone number on it, and I'm calling to complain. And I said, how did she get your number to call you to complain? Benji. Ben spoke in our training this morning. Ben is also at Home Heroes, killer. We talked about how he's improved over the course of time in the program. Is just absolute monster. Okay, I want to make this third point. And I want to tie it all together. Here's the third takeaway. So the second one was be memorable, be sticky. We'll run it right here. We'll run it right here. Here's the third point. Here's the third takeaway. Don't advertise campaign. Now, I want to tie this together to you. Look, my point is, don't just be running call to action ads. $89 or it's free drain cleaning, or Like, you can do that, but then you got to spend a bunch of money to run the ad. Then you have to reduce your services and pricing to get them to buy the ad. I mean, you can do that. You can do that, but I don't recommend it. Let me show you what to do instead. First of all, I want to show you just a 7-second clip. Hopefully you guys can hear the audio on this, but go ahead and roll it.
Hi there, I'm Ash, your trusted Home Heroes leader. We're here to save the day for all your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
You can hear it? Y'all heard that? Let me know. I mean, that's crazy. That's so cool what he did, but that's not where he stopped. Now, I'm going to talk about how to bring this campaign. Now, only think about this. They got this little home hero. I mean, it's like Disney up in there. It's like Disney up in there. So, I mean, that's wild, right? Now, I'm going to show you a much bigger ad on this thing and what they did with it, and I'll show you again. I'm gonna put this together, but just kind of walk backwards with me. They got a $900,000 company. They get into this program. They hit me up. Then they end up in a mastermind that happens to be on marketing. So they're in this room with like 20 or 30 other owners, and we're breaking down. We're going around the room, and I don't remember exactly how it went down. I heard a lot of rumors that I told people their brands sucked in that room. I'm not that kind of person. I was probably like, "Oh, your brand's cute. Maybe we can modify and make it a little bit nicer." I know if you're in my program, you're like, that is not what you said or did or how you said it. But anyways, we said, hey, you probably need to rethink this. Plumbing doctors, and by the way, they're not telling you everything. It was plumbing doctors and HVAC. And I was like, what are you going to be one day? Plumbing doctors and HVAC and electrical and siding and roofing and gutters and pressure. Like, it's going to be this long list of things. So I said, hey, David said I crushed his soul. Wait. Oh, huh? Oh, I crushed his soul. I may have. David, you have an amazing brand right now, but that brand you had sucked. I think that's what I told him. I was like, your brand sucks. He said, you was not that nice. Okay, you're going to love this next video I show you because they're going to put the whole thing together. So here's the deal. So they come into the program. We say, hey, you might want to rethink about your name. So they played with it. Emergency responders. I remember a couple different names that came up, and then they were like, I don't know, they showed back up on one of the meetings. They we got a name, Home Heroes, and I was like, all right, so it was gonna be Home Heroes. And then I was like, well, we could do a superhero, and then we were on the Zoom meeting in a collaboration session with them and my designers, and I was like, hey, we should go a different route. Let's make this Home Hero a kid, and let's make it a girl. Let's make it like Ash. So then we lowercase everything. So then they fell in love with it. And look, I'm just gonna say a comment that I say all the time about brands. Whatever you want to, I believe it. You can believe it. Don't believe it. But let me tell you what I see on the internet sometimes. Please don't be mad at me when I say this, but I see pictures of ugly babies. Now, all babies are cute. All babies are cute. I got 8 babies. All my babies are cute. All babies are cute. But some babies are ugly. But all babies are cute. And parents, they just love their baby. So they don't care. They're just showing the world their baby. Here's my point. If you don't like your brand, you won't show it to anyone. If you fall in love with your brand, you'll show it to everyone. That's half the battle. That's half the battle, just knowing that your brand is good or bad. Because once you fall in love with it, Mr. Drippy Plumbing. This is a guy I work with, Patrick Leonard, out of Birmingham, Alabama. Same kind of story. Went from $1,200,000 in service, $800,000 in commercial work. The first year we worked with him, we got him to $1 million in service only. Got the commercial work out of there. Got his cash flow right. You know what I'm saying? And then we got him up to, I think he's had $1 million quarter. So whatever that's pacing. He's crushing, right? Dan Antonelli made that brand. And when he came to me, he's like, hey, what do you think? Whatever. I was giving him some coaching advice. I'm like, I like that one versus that one. Dan had made a few different ones. He went with the Mr. Drippy. They named it. Actually, his name was Plumbing Professionals, which everybody's name was Plumbing Professionals in this town. There's pro plumbers, plumbing pros, pro professionals, pros. It's crazy. I was like, dude, you can't stand out. You can't be memorable with that name. So then someone at Kick Charge named the little dude Mr. Drippy, and I was like, you should name it Mr. Drippy Plumbing. So then he went with Mr. Drippy Plumbing, and then he's putting this thing, he'd give me hey, can you show me what it'd look like if we put it on my shoes, on my backpack? He's trying to get this thing stitched on everything, put on everything. Then we did his shop layout, we rebranded his whole shop, kind of laid that out with him, designed it, It was crazy, and I just see this guy putting it out everywhere. Okay, that's what you do when you fall in love with your brand. That's what Home Heroes did when they fell in love with their brand. They put it on the Cape. They started giving it out to kids at festivals. Now people come to their shop. They got their own little heat press. They make their own things. They give kids shirts. It's wild. They made little menus, kids menus for local restaurants, and they put their menu, the restaurant's menu on it, but they put their brand on the back, so the kids are coloring Ash or tic-tac-toe with plumbing or whatever. And they're getting that exposure with the local community. Now watch this.
Meet Ash. She's the super-powered heart of Home Heroes Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
From water heaters to heating and air, Ash is here to save your day. A company you can trust. Home Heroes Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching the video. I'm loving the video too. I'm over here watching it. I was just like, hey, find me at Mr. Potty. Can you go find me? See if you can find on the internet Opsa Plumbing, and then find me at Mr. Potty, and we'll flash that up there. But I want you guys to understand that what's happening right there. Okay, I want you guys to understand what's happening right there. When the customer is seeing all this stuff, like there's something going on to where they remember this brand. Now, this isn't the only place. I showed you a picture of the truck that was in a Christmas parade. They do all the festivals. They do the yard signs. They do all the main foundational things, and now they're building on it. Remember, they're pacing $5 million without all. They don't even. They just released that a couple of days ago. I had to get permission to even show you guys, to be honest. And Facebook's gonna be like, "Hey, you allowed to have this?" I already can see that going. Coloring kids menus. What an idea! Freaking genius! Absolutely. It is, and they make the phone ring. And here's the part of the story I don't ever mention. They went from 900,000 to 5 million a year in 2 years, and their Google profile was suspended for about 6 to 8 months of that. Meaning, all those leads came from local grassroots marketing. All that business came from local. It's like they called me one day, like, our Google profile's been shut down. I was like, oh. And they're like, but our phone's ringing. You want me to love my brand today? Are you talking? I think he's talking about that old video. I was actually wearing Home Heroes uniform that day. They were in my house. Gosh, that memories today. So here's what they did. They built this reputation. They got everyone to know who they were. Okay? They knew who they were. They knew what they did. Then they got sticky. People remembered them. They're hard to forget. Every time I go see their shop, I got to drive through the countryside. I tell them getting closer because I start to see the yard signs. We come around that corner onto the street they're on. I think it's Jackson, 602 South Jackson. Come down that road. Whoa. Is that right? Is that right? 602 South Jackson. How do I even know that? Anyways, come down and they got like Ash on this like suspension cables where she's like up in the air on these, not her, the human, but this sign. And they've got a few of those. And then you see all the pink and purple and the buildings pink and purple. And it's just like, oh. I mean, it's wild to me how basic this is. When you get creative, like it can be very basic. It can be very basic. It doesn't, Joey Cisneros. I remember one of the things that I learned from him, Joey. If you're still on here, one of the things I learned from you, and I don't know if Isaac ever hopped on here, but one of the things I've learned from you guys is the power of relationship in the community. And I've known it, but I saw it. Oh, look at this! Look at this. Now, go. Do you have OPSA? Okay, this is the after. I'm kidding. This is the before. OPSA Plumbing. We plumb through any obstacle. Get it? My favorite part is the hose spigot or the boiler drain coming off the P right there. That's moms and kids love that. It's their favorite. That's showing what we did. And Dorinda hits me up one day. Beautiful image. Dorinda hits me up. Dorinda in the front there. Dorinda and Paul. Dorinda hits me up one day and says, what'd she say? She said, I got it, Chris. I want to name it Mr. Potty. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I hate that name. Like, I couldn't hate that name any more than I do right now in that moment. And I was like, I was getting ready to leave for a few days, go somewhere. I know where I was going. I was going to Disney World with my wife. Imagine that. We always go to Disney World. But we were going to Disney World. And I was like, man, I got to make magic happen with Mr. Potty. I'm like, Mr. Potty? What am I going to do with that? So I'm walking through Disney World, and I'm leaving Star Wars Land, and I come around that corner up into Toy Story, and I see Buzz Lightyear, bigger, larger than life. They live in Houston. NASA's in Houston. And it just clicked. I was like, what if we put a toilet on the back of this thing? Jetpack toilet. We get Buzz Toilet Year. Buzz Poop Year. I'm kidding. And we did. And then that happened. And the crowd went wild. They love it. People love it there. They all love it. They love it. Everyone loves it. It's a great brand. It's a great brand. I love it. So how do we make this phone ring? Well, we got to build campaigns, meaning it's more than just that one moment. American Express says it takes 4 to 7 touches before somebody can make a decision on your brand or product or your service. And I think that we try to be there at that last moment when they need us. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a couple $100 a lead if you play that game, $250, and it's not going to be the best lead. And it's not that the lead sucks. It's just there's no trust built. There's no relationship built. I mean, when I started doing this, the idea of getting a couple hundred people to pop on our show was never going to happen in my mind. The idea that people would pay the kind of money they pay for our program, never would have dreamt that. But we started having success. We started to get results, and we started to become sticky and known. And not necessarily always liked, I get that, or even always trusted, and I get that too because we're on the internet. But it started to build over time. We get a lot of people that reach out to us, man. I mean, I've been paying attention to you for 4 years. I've been watching you for 6 years. They're really not that hard to close, like as far as selling our program. My sister does all of our inbound sales calls. So people reach out, they talk to my sister. She's not a salesman. She's just the nicest human I ever met. And she shares you the information, and you guys are already convinced you want to do it before you even call. And that's what you got to do. Go. I heard it best from Russell Brunson. He said, go advocate for your audience. Go advocate for your audience. Bring Peach back up. We're going to advocate for pets. We did some studies in Atlanta, and we found out that a lot of people in Atlanta aren't necessarily parents, they're pet owners, which is like their kids. So I'm not going to tell you what we're doing, but we are hitting some dog parts, some dog groomers, and we're circling the wagons in a specific saturation of an area so that we can be known, we can be trusted. And we're going to do it by advocating for our audience, and our audience has animals. Oh, Mary, where was this when I was 8 playing Monopoly? I'm joking. That story keeps coming up inside our company. I'll tell you, I was playing Monopoly with Mary one time, and her big little friends were over, her little older friends, little ruthless friends, and I was winning, of course. We were playing Monopoly, and the next thing I know, I'm upside down, being flipped upside down, money's being taken out of my hands, I'm being laughed at. Good to hear, David. I do hear that back from her. She is the bomb.com, though. She's the bomb.com. My mom had her right before me, about 4 years before me, so there was a little bit of correction made before they had me to adjust for the mistakes they had with Mary, but Mary turned out all right. How much revenue should you be making if you go out on your own? Well, honestly, man, if you go out on your own, you're telling everyone. Here's the thing when you go out on your own. You tell everyone you get a flood of calls because everyone needs plumbing right away. But then after you've been out on your own for a while, that gets scary. So the worst mistake most people will make is when they first start out, they won't market because they think everything's going to be great. Oh, man, that first job for $4,500 that you convert, that's all yours. And you're like, I made it. Life is great. And then you find out it's not all yours. Oh, there's a cost of doing business. I'd say $10K a week is where you want to get to. I'm working with a gentleman by the name of Ryan right now. He's a single guy in a truck. I've worked. David White, we took you back to a single guy in a truck, almost. But yeah, right around $10K right around 10K is what you want to do. You want to get yourself up to about 8 or 9, 10K. You want to get you a CSR, and you want to replace your back. Okay? Think of your body. You're going to replace this part of you, and then you're going to replace your back. And I would go get me a good 2 to 3 year apprentice that I could just mold into my own. And someone that's already plumbed a little, that hasn't been respected, hasn't been cared for, and I would just make them an amazing plumber like that. And repetition is key. We have people in our program that are just churning out plumbers because we've got the process down. We know how to do it. Repetition is key. They don't learn through osmosis. You can't just have them ride around with you. And then I would start cranking up my marketing. And here's another mistake a lot of new people make is they're like, well, I'll spend money on marketing when I have it. You will never have it with that mentality. Henry Ford says that a man that stops his advertising to save money is like a man who stops his clock to save time. It just doesn't work that way. It doesn't make any sense. We can get you out of that truck, David. We can get you out of that truck. Look, if you're in the program and you don't get your conversion rate up over 80% and over $1,000 a ticket, we're probably kicking you out, if I'm being honest. And we've done that with a lot of people because I want to make impact. If you want free advice, hop on the show, get on the podcast. I'll hook you up all day long. Come to an event. We're doing an event March 6th down in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, free event. We're doing it with Palm Build Restoration. They're having a big event down there. They're bringing me in to speak. I'm going to be there all day long speaking, 3 hours in the morning for sales and service, and then 3 hours in the afternoon for business and ownership. I've got an event coming up. I'm speaking in San Diego at Evolve Restoration Mastermind. I think I'm doing some stuff with PHCC. I don't want to say what because but I'm doing some big stuff with them this year. I think we're going to be partnering up with a big tool brand and giving away tools on the show. A lot of stuff kicking off. We just started our own softener line with Brita Pro. For those that know about Brita Pro, we have fresh water powered by Brita Pro. It's tight. It's a little bit cheaper than the Brita Pro. It's still a clack valve. You'll love it. It's Brita. Mary does all that. Reach out to Mary. She'll hook you up. Dude, just hit up Mary and be like, hey, look, I don't want to get sold nothing right now. I just want to know what your menu is. She'll hook you up. It's literal. Like, there's no pressure. In fact, we'll probably send you a free training. We will. Hit her up. We'll send you. I'll tell you what I'll do. You hit her up. Just get information about any of our programs. This is only if you have serious interest. And we'll hook you up with one of our recorded trainings in the back office or worksheets. And we'll hook you up with one of our paid, one of our live sessions we just did the other day with our techs talking about how to deliver options. I got you. Milwaukee, is that where you're from, or are you guessing the tool brand? Don't wait and do. I'll tell you this. I can't tell you the name of the tool brand. I can't right now because it's not official. But what I can say is I don't like DeWalt. I don't like Cobalt. I don't like anybody but one, and they're red with white writing. Have I ever done business in South? I have been to Jersey Shore and ran calls, believe it or not. I don't know if that's South Jersey, but Jersey Shore. Mary says no pressure. Yeah, don't screw this up, Mary. Like that Monopoly game. Yeah, I ran some. First call I ran in Jersey, actually, I remember Jersey Shore. I ran 6 calls and I averaged, it was like, you're not going to believe me if I say this, but it was like $6,800 a call. I had a killer shop visit there. I remember that. Yeah, it was $27K on 6 calls. What is that? 4,000. Yeah, it was four something. And it wasn't like selling anything great. Just got a lot of issues there. A lot of sand, right? I think there was a lot of sand. What company? It was My Guy Plumbing out of Tom's River. It was a while ago. It was like 3-4 years ago. I've been to Mr. Potty. I've been to a lot of these shops. Streamline, I've been there. Been to so many shops. Probably been to about 100 shops in the last, more than that. It's got to be more than that. It's crazy. I don't even know. I can't even remember half of them. I'm from Michigan, living in Arizona. Just don't even bring up Michigan anymore, bro. Just tell people you're from Phoenix. I'm just joking. Michigan's close. Just right above me. A lot of money to be made here with all the beach houses, I bet. Lots of sand. Yeah, I remember that. Lots of sand, corrosion. I'm an hour south of there. Yeah, the owner took me to this place, and they're like, yeah, this is where Snooki, and I was like, I don't care. I cared about the owner. I didn't care about Snooki. Hey, look. I want to help you guys. I want you guys to keep getting better. So we just did sales. We did a marketing thing tonight. We're going to keep doing this show. I'm going to keep bringing value to you guys as much as I can, as long as you guys want, and as long as you want to pay attention. I'm going to keep showing up for you, okay? We might make some changes, some moves around. We've got some big improvements coming to our studio. This is our temporary studio that we set up real quick while we build out our new one. But I've got some stuff where I think, I was watching a demo the other day, and I could bring, like, the earth up on the screen and spin it, and it's crazy. And I can, like, Tony Stark. It's like Tony Stark. I can make things. Doctor Strange meets Tony Stark meets the plumbing sales coach. That's what the trainings are going to look like coming forward. That's what the show's going to look like. That's what everything's going to look like. He said, oh, you're definitely from Ohio or Illinois. I don't know what that even is supposed to mean, but I'm from Indiana. Right? You was right there, bro. It was. Look, you have to campaign. So here's what I mean by campaign. They got themselves out there. They got themselves memorable. Now they're running specials. They're becoming known for something. You have to become known for something. And at some point, you get easier to refer. Oh, well, call the pros with a bow. Or, call Peach, man. They're the guy with the big peach rolling around. Or Home Heroes. Oh, all the capes in town. They're all of a sudden people start to know you for something, and then you start running ads like Mattress Mac. I did an episode on this a while back where he did the free, where he gave away the mattresses. If you haven't seen that video, it's got like 1 million views on it. Go watch it. It's on Facebook, where we broke it down, the science of this idea of getting extremely creative. We talked about value stacking back in the sales, and you can mix this in. I said from the get-go, marketing and sales from a distance. So imagine this, and this is just kind of wrapping it all together. If you did the math on a tankless water heater, and you did the math on a water softener installation, and you figured out what your wholesale rate was, and you could showcase a value for the two, imagine being able to say something wild like, I don't know, tankless water heater, free softener with the tankless water heater purchase, $99 a month. See, that's a bundle priced package offer out in the community, and you can either run ads so people will see it and buy it, or you can build a campaign, which means people see you at the parade, they see you at the festivals, they see you at the schools, they see you at the events. You become wildly local favorites. You become an advocate for your community, a philanthropist, if you will. You start giving back, making the community better, doing things to impact the lives around you. And then you run that, and everybody's like, yeah, I'm doing that with you now, because it's no longer untrustworthy. It's already trusted. Now it's just a good deal from something I already trust. If all of you got sent a new phone that said, we're selling the new Me phone, not the iPhone, the new knockoff, the new Me phone, and it's $800, we'd be like, what? But the second this goes on sale for $800, everybody knows the value they're getting, because we already know what this is and we already trust what this is. And the sooner you get that, and the sooner you recognize that, you're going to change the way you brand. You need to know who you're talking to. You need to know who's in their circle. You're talking to, a lot of times, homeowners that are also parents, homeowners that are also in the community as pet owners, or maybe they work somewhere, or they're in a bowling league, or they're in a gardening league, but they are involved in that community. They live in the same community you live in, and you need to be there. And when you're there, stop trying to sell them stuff and start advocating for them, start impacting their lives in a positive way, so you're memorable, so you're sticky, and they don't forget about you. And the better and memorable and nicer your brand is, the cleaner your brand is, the easier it is for them to remember you. If you wear a mask all day long, people won't remember your face. It'll be hard to identify you. No different with branding. Make sure you got something that sticks out. Make sure you got something that pops. We got an event coming up March 21st, 22nd in Indianapolis, with me live in person, a day and a half. That is $397 a seat. We're going to take the deepest dive you've ever taken on studying human behavior and how we can run calls in a way that's pleasant and an experience for them, while showcasing our values so they can make informed decisions. Also, March 6th, I'm going to be down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I'm going to be doing a live event down there. That event is free. That is for a day. Palm Build Restorations paying for that in full. So I'm just going to come down there and bring some energy. And if you're going to be out in San Diego, hit me up, because not this week, but the next week, next Friday night, I'll be down there Thursday and Friday, maybe Saturday. I'm going to see you, Joey. and we're going to hang out. But I'm bringing April too, bro. But we'll be down there speaking at the Evolve event. I don't think that's an open event. I'm pretty sure that's a closed event for that organization. I think they're just bringing me in to talk, yeah. And then I got a major event coming up at the end of the year. I cannot wait to share more about that. And then we've got one more out in the Carolinas. We're doing with PHCC North Carolina, and we're doing a casino night out there. So I can't wait. We're going to be doing it big. I'm going to be out and about more. I've never gone to the trade shows. I've never been in the public. I usually hide in the corner and don't let anyone meet me. Not because I have something to hide, but just because I assume most people don't want to meet me. So I don't want to waste anyone's time. But this year I'm going to make myself more available. I do want to get to know you. I do want to meet everyone, and I can't wait until we get that chance. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next show. Have a great night, and serve your community and everything, not just plumbing. See y'all later. If you want more tips about marketing, sales, and business, type subscribe in the comments and get alerts about future shows. Also, check out our podcast on Spotify, Apple, and other major platforms. Thanks again for watching The Fresh Approach.
Fresh.